the queue. Good evening, howdy do. Bonjour, au revoir. Hey, what's happening? All of the things. What's going on? We're gonna have a lot to talk about. Not gonna be on long, maybe about an hour because I gotta go get something to eat. But hey, two people, y'all say hey, hey y'all, hey. Um, we got some stuff to talk about. Now, I've been informed that there's certain words that you cannot say. Hey, Neat. Hey, LR. There's certain words that you can't say. So I'm gonna try to say what I'm talking about without saying the words. Hey, y'all. Hey, Nikita. Y'all know I don't have my laptop is downstairs. I'm in a different location, so y'all bear with me if I be squinting. I'm trying to see. So we're gonna use unalive. That's what they're using now. Can't say certain words on YouTube. Unalive and SA for the type of offense that it is. If y'all can get what that's what I'm saying. SA. Because you can't say the R word, can't say this word, can't say that word. So, you know. But we must talk about it. It must be talked about. I was planning on talking about marriage and all that. But in light of what happened yesterday, in two instances that I know of, I just think we should talk about DV. We're going to call it DV and unaliving women. That's what we're going to call it. Got to be careful with my words, child. If I ever want to get back on the good side of YouTube. But anyway, I don't know if y'all all saw, but it's been trending. The man who unalived his wife in Michigan, right? I have to concentrate, make sure I say the right words. And then also we're going to talk about, for those of y'all that watch Love and Hip Hop Miami, there's a guy that been on there from the beginning. He used to have dreads, light-skinned dude named Gunplay, right? Well, he supposedly had changed his life around, got him a wife, had a baby. Well, he pulled I don't even know if you can say this word, GUN, on his new wife and baby. We're going to talk about that, right? And why is it so popular, for lack of a better word, for black women to be, what's the word? I guess I can use abused and violated. Because I know a lot of it is going on in Cleveland, Ohio. A lot of it. They are unaliving women by the boatloads every day, every weekend especially, right? So we're going to talk about that. If you guys interested in a t-shirt, email me. If you can donate to my channel, cash at me. So we're gonna that's what we're gonna be discussing because that troubles me, right? So this instance with the young man in Detroit, in Michigan, they were newlyweds. Now I don't know the backstory, how long they've been together prior to the wedding, the marriage, but they had just gotten married in February, and between February and now, they've had domestic violence calls to their house. Yeah, very sad, right? And what I found even strange was that they were doing a video, looked like they was having a good time at the house, and the young lady who was unalive had the Glock on her side. Now I don't know if because sometimes people play with guns. You shouldn't do that, but she had that on her side, right? Maybe they was having a good moment because, like I said, from what I can gather, he was not supposed to be there, and she had a file for a divorce or had either served them the papers, but they were not going to be together. And the reason, this is alleged, I don't know. This is what the people say out there. I ain't saying nothing that ain't been said already. That she found out he was DL. Now, I had forgot all about this Facebook group because we had it in Cleveland. But, I've been in Charlotte and Atlanta. I don't know if they have it in these cities. I'm gonna look for it. But they have a group. There's a group called "Sis, Is This Your Man?" Now we got one in Cleveland. They got different chapters in different cities. Sis, is this your man? And what happens in that Facebook group? They have to let you in. What happens in that group is women will put up, and no man can be in the group, supposedly women will put up their picture of their dude or somebody they like or somebody they interested in or their husband or their boyfriend and say what you know about him, right? What you know about him. And 9 times out of 10, it's a whole, hey Eve. 9 times out of 10, it's a whole bunch of, a lot of times, it's some folks that know about this person that you didn't put up on the Facebook group, in the Facebook group, right? And when they do that, it exposes the cheaters. It's an expose the cheaters Facebook group, right? When I tell you, and it's not really, it's usually under 40. Very rarely is somebody over 50 in there, right? But it'd be very interesting, and people have verbal arguments on the app, in the group, right? Hey Denise, in the group, right? I've seen a whole bunch of commotion in Cleveland, and with the "Sis, is this your man?" Now I got to remember, hey T, I got to remember tonight to go see if they got one in Charlotte. I'm sure they probably do, right? "Sis, is this your man?" Well, you post your man or your potential man or your husband and see who all know him and who all messing with him, right? Hey Sheila. And like I said, it is so, I like drama and gossip because it ain't mine and other folks' lives, right? It is so interesting to read the comments and listen to what these people are saying about these men, child. So anyway, she did that. They got a chapter in Michigan, whatever city, I forgot what city she's in Michigan. Found out that her husband was DL. Now, I'm going to say the reason why she probably went on the app, in the group, was because her husband may have been moving funny and she wanted to see. Now, did she know it was men? She probably didn't. She probably thought it was a woman. But allegedly, supposedly, men, and in Cleveland, they didn't allow men to be in a group. I haven't seen it since I left Cleveland, so I don't know how they do now. But men couldn't be in a group. I don't know if that includes gay men. Well, anyway, they gave her some information as well as some pictures and I believe footage. I'm not sure about the footage, right? They gave her some pictures, right? And hey, Celia. Thank you. And so she found out. Filed for divorce. Secret is out. Now, this is the part I don't understand. If that's the case, we don't know if that's true about this man. If that was the case, did he think that once I hurt or unalive my wife, and I go to prison, everybody's going to know, and I'm going to be around a whole bunch of booty bandits, right? So it's a real sad, tragic situation. But what I got to say is, whatever you are, be who you are. Quit tricking us. Quit tricking women. I want these men to quit tricking us into thinking that they like us when they don't, right? Now, let me tell you, I had a conversation with my friends. I said, to me, seems like you would know or you would see some sort of signs if your man was DL. I don't believe they can hold that, especially if they start drinking or smoking weed or whatever to get out of themselves and be, get into be somebody else. I just don't think you can hide that. And I'm wondering, did she see that? Did she suspect that? Or did she just think he was messing around with women, right? It will. But men, it was a story last year, I think, or a year before, where a girl walked in on her. It was all on either YouTube or Instagram or something. Walked in on her dude with a dude. She thought they was friends, but they was in there having a situation. And she ran out and told everybody, and she ended up getting unalived some months later. Hey, who is that saying? Dark, I can't see all the rest of the words. I don't have my computer. So, my question is, you didn't got married. You done got married to them. You in love. If you get married, that means you're in love, right? Did you not see the signs? And what I think is happening, y'all, is we are not paying close enough attention to what they say, how they act. We're not paying attention because there's no, this is just what I believe. There's no way my dude could like other dudes and I don't see something or hear something that he say out his mouth, right? I just can't believe that. You know, me and my girlfriends was talking. They was like, "Yeah, well, you might not know it." I just think I would like to think that I would see it, right? Because years ago, I dated a guy. I dated two guys that one I found out for sure later that he was gay, right? But he pursued me. That was the strange part. Like I don't. And then he had a woman after me, but that they was together. I was just dated him a couple times, right? Can hide it well. That's what everybody keeps saying. I just don't want to believe that you can just hide that. You know, like you don't see it. Because one guy I dated, I liked him, but he never tried to hit on me, nothing like that. He just come. I met him out, and he would come take me, and we'd go out, right? But one time or two, he would get a little extra inebriated, and he would cross his legs away. You know, when men hug, they hug with the fist in between or something like that, right? He would do a full body. One time he did a full body hug with the dude, and then he crossed his leg. You know, it was things I saw, right? Things I saw. I'm still not sure if he was or not because I seen his brother years later, and his brother was like, "No," but of course his brother would say that, right? Because he didn't look it. He didn't look it at all. Just things I saw because we were hanging out, right? And I just think it's something because I just don't believe you can hide totally who you are, especially from somebody that you that close with and intimate with and live with and married to. I just don't believe you can hide all that like that. You know, because as a woman, we have that women's intuition. Or if you're really spiritual, you have that and the Holy Spirit in you. Was married 12 years and finally told everyone he was gay, but got married hoping he'd change. He didn't change. Did you know? Or you didn't know? You didn't know either. And with married 12 years, that's, first of all, I think to the person that is gay, that's got to be torture, knowing this what you want, but I'm with this. We were all in disbelief. So y'all didn't know, huh? And how is the wife doing now? How is the wife doing? I'm sure they separated, right? And another thing is, I don't like, is when they go into these unions and then produce children. Now, wow. Me too. Now, you've produced kids inside of this situation. Like, I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool. You know, if that's who you are, let your wife, the person you know, and I just don't believe in all that. They're not really good. After years of counseling, I don't even know if I would want to be his friend. Would he be worthy of my friendship? What y'all say? If you married somebody and they did that to you, would that person be worthy of your friendship? Like a lot of times I wonder how women, they break up with somebody and she's remarried. Okay. They break up with somebody and then they want to be friends with him. Like, friends for what? He done did this X, Y, and Z to you. Why you want to be his friend? I just never understood that. You know what I'm saying? That is, you know, I didn't understand that. But like I said, I would hope that I could see it. I would hope that I could see it. I wouldn't be able to be his friend just because he lied to me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying too about the trust, right? And then, of course, she would need years of counseling. Did they go to counseling together, T? Or it went separate counseling? No, they couldn't go to counseling together. No, they couldn't go to counseling together. But and so now she knows your secret. And you're afraid of being exposed, but he wasn't thinking. That's why I know he was irrational. And some blogger put up, you know, everybody always have a last video. He put up a video. He wasn't talking on the video, but he looked funny in the face and he was driving, but he put the words up and he was saying something subliminal, right? So that's, I guess, it's a very bad spot to be in, but now you're in an even worse spot. Like I would just have to deal with whoever she tell, move to another city, find you another job, get you another set of friends. I wouldn't go to the extreme of unaliving anyone. Not somebody. So, and a lot of people in the comments and certain blogs I was saying, well, he never liked her, because he did that to her. They did individual and they went together because she wanted to know why her and what made him hide his true self all those years. That's interesting. That's interesting. Together. Well, she loved him. That's why she went. She loved him. See, I ain't never been in love, y'all, so I don't really know how deep that thing, what you would do and all that. I don't know. Because if you, seem like if you hurt me, I'm going to feel away. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because I ain't never been in deep in love, I don't guess. So, I don't know. But, she got kids. We don't know if, yeah, that's the thing. You don't know if they're abusive. You don't know what their perversions are. You're right about that. And something that I didn't think of, I always thought about if they're abusive, but now you got to think of their perversions. And you need to know their history. Like, even though we got social media, you can Google people and do all that stuff now, some stuff you can only get if you know the people around them, who grew up with them, where the people that be around them, right? Because it is scary, because you don't know how crazy they are. Because I've met some dudes, like I met a guy, I probably told y'all this, and then he was a decent enough guy, right? And I want to say he was raising his son, and he had another grown son that he had raised by himself, right? I forget why, but he had a perversion that was a little odd to me, right? I'm just a regular old basic kind of gal, right? But he had a perversion, and he let it be known quite early, right? So I'm guessing if you have a perversion, you dying for somebody to handle this perversion for you, right? He wanted a foot job. Now had never heard of that. I didn't know what he was talking about, right? But he wanted a foot job. Now I've since known what it is and seen it and Googled it and stuff, but that ain't nothing that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to sit Indian style, and there's just some things just a little too weird for me, right? It wouldn't kill me or kill him, but it was just a little too weird for me, right? And I thought, first of all, it was too soon to be telling me that. It was too soon, But I guess you just tell her, I don't know, child, because I'm just regular. I just want to be the regular dude, right? Just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finding, because again, I've been single for so long, that there's a lot of weirdness going on, and I'm trying to figure out what weird. Let me tell you what I watched today. So I forgot what I was Googling, or the comments I was seeing, what I was watching, whatever I was watching on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. And somebody in the comments said, go listen to Dr. Such and Such, right? Did he? I didn't watch Ready to Love. Did he? What was his perversions, girl? And he was on TV with it? What was his perversions? Do tell. So this guy said, listen to Dr. So-and-so. So I went to Dr. So-and-so's page on YouTube, and he was explaining, because they was talking about, it was in the notes from the guy that unalived his wife. And he was saying that the reason why so many black men are gay, this is his theory, is that it's in the drugs that is being given to us, right? And he gave his reasoning, and it sounded reasonable to me. He was like, in the weed, these different engineered weed, right? Molly, whatever's in Molly, and some other kind of drug he was talking about, right? He says, and I was going to keep reading some more, but I had to leave. I was going to keep listening because he has a YouTube channel. When I go back to it, I'll tell y'all what his name is, right? Me too, Sheila. And why you just can't be regular, right? And this doctor, he was a professor there. He was something. He had some letters, initials with his name. And he has several videos on why so many black men are gay, right? And I kind of tend to believe them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to believe that all this been going on and everybody was in the closet. I just don't want to believe that everybody was in the closet like that. Like everybody, because it seems to me that uh, there's more perversions, or maybe people are just talking about them now. He likes to chain women up and use all types of things and watch the woman squirm until he thinks they. And they had him on Ready to Love. He's crazy. They had him on Ready to Love. Did they screen him before? Or did he? Now, what did dude say about it? Uncle, nephew Tommy. What did he have to say about that? He talked about it a lot, and he got voted off. Of course he did. Of course he did. But what I would like to know is what did nephew Tommy have to say about him? I didn't watch Ready to Love. That's one. I never really watched it because I watched so many other things, and sometimes I'm being petty and haterish now. I don't want to watch people being in love. Certain shows I don't want to watch. So what did nephew Tommy have to say about dude? I know they had to have a discussion about it. Like, it seemed like he would have got screened out and wouldn't have been on the show. Because that's too much. Especially you tying people up, that's over there. That's a little bit over there, right? Like, that ain't normal. Is it? He just gave him the raised brow. Oh, did he? Did he? I would expect more from him. I would have expected more from him. See, again, y'all. Again, this is a black show. Black women. See what I'm saying, y'all? Listen, I am so tired of this manosphere behavior, right? This caveman behavior. I was watching the Breakfast Club this morning, and I forgot what they was talking about. And the guy said, what was they talking about? And the caller called in. See, I didn't know they called in on the Breakfast Club, right? And so the people called in and said that, what was they talking about? But anyway, he was saying that what men need to do is just go on to other countries and get their woman, because these women over here is no good in America. Black guy. Mm-hmm. I'm so tired of these men that don't like us. I don't understand why. Your mama black. Your mammy black. Right? Your grandmammy black. Your auntie's black. Your sister's black. I don't get this. I don't get this. Well, I seen it on my timeline. What did he say? Because I started watching it for 1 second, but I was getting ready to go this morning. I was getting ready to go. Because he said something about, and he shot it back at Charlemagne, and then I was getting ready, so I couldn't watch it. Tell me, enlighten me on it. Because I started watching, because I'm trying to think who Larry Elder is. Who is he? Who is he? Tell me that first. I've heard his name, but who is he? He asked Charlemagne something, and whatever Charlemagne asked him, he shot it back to him, and then I had to go. I had to go this morning, and I said I was gonna get back to it. Because I really like Jess on there. That's why I watched it for Jess. You know what I'm saying? I really like Jess on there. I'm really proud of Jess. I watched her from the beginning. You know, I like her elevation. I like her growth, and I like where she's going. And she's young. She's only 31. She's whole life ahead of her. And they like her too. I can tell the camaraderie. It's different than when Angela Yee was on there, right? But who is Larry Elder? I got to Google him. Like I said, he seemed interesting, and I've heard the name, but I was getting ready to go. He was talking a bunch of. At first, he started talking legitimately, but then he was saying there's no such thing. No such thing as what? As oh. And I kind of thought it was something negative. I just couldn't remember. You ain't like Angela. A lot of people say they ain't like Angela. She seemed to me, Angela was. She didn't have a lot of action with her. Like Jess is upbeat and stuff. It seemed like Angela used to sink into her seat. And I don't know if because she was with two men. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't feel as strong as them or something, I don't know. She was dry. Good word. And they bitter and annoying. She was bitter. I've heard that before. I've heard, and you know, she's on a radio. She must live in Atlanta now because she's on a radio station in the morning in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta got about 10, 11, 12 radio stations in the morning, and she's on a radio station in Atlanta. Oh, so because it was something seemed like she just was not that much action with her. Her show is not good to me. I ain't never listened to it. I've seen clips of it, but I've never paid it any attention because I did watch it one time or a piece of it some kind of way. They was talking about sex or something. They was talking something sex. It was her, a bunch of girls. I seen it some kind of way on social media or something. And they were talking about sex or something. Seemed like it ran across my timeline a couple times. They was talking about sex. I ain't never really watched it, but I had the radio on one day, and I was like, "This sound like Angela Yee." Then another time, I said, "Oh, she must live here because she's on the radio station, so she must live down in Atlanta somewhere." But I don't like the fact that's all she talks about on lip service. That's what I thought. That's what I thought too. Because every time I've happened to catch a glimpse of it, seems like that's what they talking about, right? I ain't that it. It seems like that's what they was talking about. I ain't knocking it, but that just seemed like it was talking about. But so this guy unalived his wife. Now he is going to prison probably for the rest of his life, right? And a family member that was a representative for the family spoke on their behalf. Spoke on their behalf. Of course, they said she was a nice lady and good mother and all the things, right? And they didn't want the focus to be on him. They wanted the focus to be on her, which I don't blame her. Her morning show comes on after TBC, and I don't like that. What's TBC? Oh, the Breakfast Club. Oh, the dude, they got it. What? On what? BET? Because I seen this on BET, I think. Yeah. So she come on BET after the, ain't that something? Ain't that something? But I don't like the way that women are being portrayed and the way women are being handled. Because that's what's happening. They're handling us, right? And I don't like that. Because we are the strongest creatures on the earth. Don't y'all forget that. We might not be physically strong, but mentally and spiritually, we are the strongest creatures on earth. I've known that since I was a kid. We are the strongest creatures on earth, right? So maybe black men are upset at our strength, right? That's the only thing I can see that it is. But another thing that puzzles me is they going all out the country to get these women. Those women just want to be rescued. It ain't, a black woman will stick with you. She'll stick with you. She might not stay with you, but she gonna stick with you through the hard times. Now, when y'all get on the other side of it, she might go on about her business. But I watched my aunt, my uncle. They divorced. I don't know if they actually divorced, but they separated. And years later, he got sick and was bedridden. And my aunt and my other aunt and my uncle would go visit him and take care of him and see about him. You know what I'm saying? We gonna ride with you, right? And so I don't like the fact that I've never liked. Now I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. I'm gonna just say this like I say it. I don't hate white people, nothing like that. I'm not sure if I'm a racist. I ain't quite sure on that because I don't know what the definition of that is. But I don't like to see black men with white women. I don't. Now, I said it. It's out there. There it is. I just don't. It makes me feel away. Period. Right? Makes me feel away. Because it makes me think, well, what's wrong? And people will say you can't help who you fall in love with. No, you can't. But if you go looking over there, you're going to find what you're looking for. Right? Yeah. It makes me feel away. I don't hate it or I don't be mad and making faces and stuff like that. It just makes me feel away. Now, I had a friend that was dating a white guy, and she said they was in the mall. I think they was in the mall or somewhere, a restaurant somewhere. She said the black men, they was older black men, looked at her. She said they gave her a look. She felt so ashamed. She never dated that man again. They shamed her with their looks. They shamed her. And she felt like sinking into the floor the way them black men looked at her. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do any of that kind of stuff. It just makes me think like, are we not good enough? That's what I've always thought. Are we not good enough? And that could be because of the way that I grew up. When I grew up, dark girls were not in. They didn't see it for us, right? And it was all about the light-skinned girl. She could have looked like a monster as long as she was light-skinned. That's what they liked, right? So I could have some colorist issues, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that I've always thought since I was a kid. Like, when I see a black man with a white woman, we ain't good enough. That's the thought. That's usually the first thought I have. Now I don't know what that makes me. I'm just telling y'all how I feel when I see it. And I learned that from a therapist. She said, tell how you feel. So I learned that in therapy, that it makes me feel a way, when I see that. But, so this guy, and you know what? They said he was just walking down the street. So he probably snapped, he snapped and was worried about what folks was going to say. Well, not everybody knows, sir. Everybody can speculate. We don't know what do you do. You know what I'm saying? But everybody can allege it that he's that way, right? Now, on the other hand, on the other note, Gunplay. Now, Gunplay was the guy, and his friend Tip, Miami Tip, she said they're not friends anymore. She said they've been friends a long time. That he had a temper, she don't trust him, and so on and so forth, right? And they had a falling out. She know who the real him is. See, you got when you dating somebody and they friends shy away, you got to figure out why, right? Because they know that person. They know the person beyond the facade that you seeing. They know the real person, right? So yesterday, I don't know when it happened. I guess maybe what's today? Tuesday, maybe Sunday it happened. It come out that now he has a young girl. What I found out when I watched the episode today, the girl is very young, and she comes from she's an accomplished young woman. She got her master's in 2 years. She got her bachelor's in 2 years. She went to Harvard. She went to Howard. She went everywhere, right? Beautiful black girl, right? She said her parents pushed education down her throat. So what I think when she got with Gunplay, she was being rebellious. Fell in love, got married, they got a baby now, right? The parents ain't seeing it for him. But he has since cut his hair off, right? And straightened himself up. That's what it appeared, right? Now, the baby had some rare heart disease, and this is the guy that was asking for the GoFundMe for the baby to get this surgery, right? Then he turned around and gift Rick Ross, who's one of the richest dudes ever, with a watch. And people wanted their GoFundMe money back. This is him, right? So when I watched them today, they came on last night, but when I watched them today, him and her, I said to myself, now I understand what happened with the DV, right? Because first of all, she's much younger than him. I don't know why dudes always get the young girl. She's 24. I don't know how he is, but I think he's about 40. And sometimes age doesn't matter when you're older. But when you're young, it matters. You're on a whole different playing field, right? And he pulled a pistol on her and the baby. Now, her parents are prominent folks. I forgot what they do. I'm sure she's in shock, right? The wife, because she married him. And I got to read up today because I've been busy to see what has happened with that story, right? But the fact that your man, your husband, if our husband don't protect us, who we got, right? If our husband don't protect us, who do we have, right? He was waving a pistol. And I would like to know the backstory to that. I do not know. Exactly. I do not know the backstory. But I think as I watched her parents, I think I can. Now, what her mother did, which was wrong, was while they were married, she wrote him a nasty letter and talked about him and his mama and maybe his daddy. I can't remember, but I know she talked about his mama, which she shouldn't have did. And so now the wife, the daughter, wants them to be on this episode, wants them to kumbaya. That's not gonna happen, right? And he tried to sit down and talk with her, and the mother said, "We're not gonna have this conversation here," right? So I'm sure that the aggravation of the mother, not excusing his behavior at all, but again, I've told y'all this time and time again, when a regular girl who ain't been in the streets, don't know nothing about none of that, get with that street dude, it's a lot of stuff coming with it. Their mentality is all the way different than a regular 9-to-5 working man. The mentality is all the way different. 9 times out of 10, they're more violent. They're prone, I'm going to say prone to violence, right? They don't fit in a box. They can't be restricted, right? It's a lot come with that. And you want him to fit into this cookie cutter mold because you married him. Like a lot of women think once we get married, he my husband, and then he gonna be this. He gonna be the same person he was yesterday before you married him, right? It's a different lifestyle, and I believe he was conflicted. Now I'm gonna say this, might not be a popular point of view, but a lot of times, most of the times, you cannot take. It takes a long time for someone to transition from that, right? And during the transition period of changing from the streets to normalcy, I don't think you should date. I don't think you should. I think you should just focus on getting yourself together. That's what I think, right? But a lot of times men can't be by themselves, so they date and they get together and blah, blah, blah. But they're not fully healed from the trauma and all the things that they put themselves to, or they haven't changed that lifestyle all the way around, right? So now you get with them. And another thing, they can't take a lot of aggravation either. Again, not excusing the behavior. I'm just saying this is who you dealing with. When you take a man and he been in the streets all his life, he don't. And if he do deal with aggravation, he deal with it in a violent sort of way, right? They don't have any restrictions. They don't. Nobody told them no. Nobody. They don't. They ain't been clocked in at no work at a certain time. They don't have any rules and regulations, right? And regular women need to understand that that's what they're dealing with. And just because he married you, he don't automatically turn into the perfect man. It don't happen like that. But I see it on these shows all the time. This is my husband. We married. He the same person he was yesterday. Unless he done went and got some help and been working on himself for a long, long time. And been around other men that he want to be like. See, you can't. Maybe you can. But I'm just saying. If you're trying to change your life, you got to be around them people that you're trying to be like. Go around them. Not saying you got to forget your friends. But when you're in a transitional phase, you got to be around the people that you want to be like. Now that's Bible right there. I believe that, right? So if you keep being around Boo Boo, Lil Tone, Pee Wee now, it's gonna be hard for you to change. It's gonna be hard for you to change. You know what I'm saying? You have to either isolate yourself or go around the people that's like you, that's like man, or not like you, the people that you want to be like, what you want to be like. Go around that. Because it's hard. Because as soon as he get frustrated, I've seen it so many times, y'all. That's why I can talk about it. Soon as you see it, soon as they get into a something, they can't handle it, and so they act out. Again, not excusing. I'm just telling you the whys of it, why they do that, right? And quite frankly, you have to watch what you say, or be prepared for that backlash, right? And when I watched the show today and I saw how they was talking, I said, now, even though I knew what happened yesterday, I said, okay, I could see the build up to what happened yesterday. I could see the build up. If that's how they doing on TV, what they doing behind closed doors, right? So got to be mindful. And I wish these good girls who ain't never been out and stepped a toe out into the streets, understand what they get into before they get into it. Understand what they get into before they get into it. You know, because this is a definite different lifestyle. It ain't like your mom and daddy. And see, she had a mom and daddy. They looked, like mom and daddy's look, right? It's a whole different thing, right? And so you can't. If I was a girl who had never dealt with, well, you don't know it, because especially if you're young, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. But I would try to surround myself with people that I want my man to be like. But that's hard because you can't tell a grown man what to do and where to go. I don't think she knew what she was getting into because she was only 24. They got a baby. She probably was 22 when she met him. Like, I don't know why dudes. Again, I think the reason why a lot of dudes get younger women is because they can control them, manipulate them, and they haven't lived enough to see the signs of what it is, so they think they can do whatever they want to do. That's just my take on it, right? Because why would you, and she's a pretty girl, dark-skinned pretty girl, but why at your age? Matter of fact, I wanted to Google his age. Somebody Google how old Gunplay is. He might be 38, but it seems to me like he's 40 or 42. For whatever reason, I got him as 42. Might not be 42, but he looked like it, right? Somebody Google Gunplay. How old is Gunplay? But the violence, again, so when you're trying to date, you don't know. That's why I'm telling y'all, you got to listen to every word they say, because 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you who they are, and it might be something real minute and small. You can't overlook it though. And if you need to go back over it and ask a question, ask the question. If he don't want you to ask him questions, he ain't the person to be, because the whole point of dating somebody is talking, getting to know, right? Who was that I was talking to? And he was like, something about you want to. He didn't like the fact that somebody wanted to get to. How am I supposed to? That I was talking and asking questions. How am I supposed to get to know you? How do I get to know you? Jump in your mind, I ain't in your head, right? It's a really sad state of affairs out here, y'all, for us. I don't know. We're gonna have to get that. We're gonna have to get that special jet together to get us up to Jupiter or somewhere. I knew. Some said he was 42. I knew he was older than 38, 40. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So he 44. You done married somebody twice your age. 44. I knew it because his skin looks, and see, he was on drugs. That's another thing. He was on drugs, and I think he went to rehab somewhere because he had a girlfriend, or maybe she was his fiance, but she couldn't deal with him because another thing that good girls don't know, when a man is on drugs, they have mood swings. They have mood swings. And sometimes that when they swing the other way, it's very violent, right? And the girlfriend couldn't deal with him no more. And Miami Tip, which was his good friend, close friend, best friend, couldn't deal with him either, right? And he would rage out on Love and Hip Hop Miami, right? So I feel for her and I feel for him because he's battling something. You know what I'm saying? For you to pull a pistol out on your baby and your wife, you dealing with something. And he probably 9 times out of 10, I don't want to say it, but he probably did something with some drugs. That's all I'm saying. This is alleged. This is my opinion, y'all. Yeah. Hey, Felicia, if I didn't say hi to you. So, you got to know all these things. Like, today, right now, I don't want to date somebody, and I'm not, who fresh off drugs, right? Hey, Tiffany, who's fresh off drugs. And I'm going to tell you why. And it could be, you're a good person and all the things, right? But I'm afraid of the relapse because I've seen it happen before, right? I'm afraid of the relapse. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they go through a rough patch or something don't go their way. A lot of times, the first thing they do is go to what makes them comfortable, right? And that is whatever the drug of choice they was using. And then after they do, it's a cycle. So then after they use that drug, right? This could be whatever addiction they're in. After they use that drug, now they feel guilty and now they're angry. And who they gonna take it out on? You. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know these things when you mess with them type of men. You got to know these things because the cycle could come back, right? And I'm believing that's probably what happened. I don't want to put no bad papers on nobody, cause no bad nothing on nobody, but I'm just because I live life. I believe that's what happened. I believe that's what happened. I believe he got frustrated. She ran off at the mouth. He went off and did something. She ran off at the mouth, and he got frustrated. And that's just what I believe happened. You got to know these things when you mess with these type of dudes. But as far as me, like I was saying, if you say, because everybody done did something, a lot of folks done did stuff. But if you say, like I met a guy a couple times since I've been single that was still in the rehab or in the halfway house or something. You ain't ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. I need you to come out. Because I told the guy, I said, I need you to be out on your own and see how you handle life. Because that's the problem with a lot of dudes. They don't know how to handle life like we do, right? And we cry. We talk to our girlfriends. We may get on drugs and alcohol and all that too. But men really can't handle certain situations, y'all. And I ain't bashing them because I love them. But I'm just saying. So, because they're so prideful that they don't want to tell nobody. Just like dude that unalived his wife. They so prideful they don't want to tell nobody what they're going through. We, on the other hand, will talk to our girlfriends. We talk to folks. Even if we might not go see no therapist, we're going to talk to our girlfriends. And if our girlfriends got any sense, they're going to talk us off the ledge or walk us through or sit there and cry with us, pray with us, whatever the situation may be. Men don't do that. Men don't do that. And so therefore we have a lot of traumatized dudes trying to be in relationships with good qualified women and destroying us, right? So, gotta know what you're getting into when you get into them. You can't just be, you gotta know what you're getting into. Like I said, if I meet a guy and he fresh out of something, whether it's a marriage, a relationship, drugs, alcohol, just starting something, I don't fool with them because they got to get them together. They got to get them together. They got to get together first, right? I don't even understand, and I understand you. Everybody wants somebody, but I don't understand somebody wanting to date and they ain't fully together mentally, right? Because all what that does is it destroys us, right? And now we got to recover all your bad, damaged stuff on us. Now we got to recover from what you done did to us and all that. It's too much. It's too much. And had I know what I know now, I never would have been with my ex. And because I know so much, or not know so much, but I'm more experienced now, is the reason why I'm single so long. Had I didn't, that comes with growth and evolution and maturity and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of dudes I done went with, I ain't had no business with them. But I wasn't thinking they were serving a purpose at that time, right? So now I'm looking at all the signs, everything you say out your mouth, the way you say it. Because people could say, you could say, yeah, I don't mind dating. Oh, I would love to date you. Okay. Or you could say, you want to, so yeah, I'll date you. Like, way they say stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't really mean that. You just saying what you think I want to hear because I said X, Y, Z. So I don't know what we're going to do, y'all. Like I said, we're going to have to gas up the jet and get on up there to Jupiter, Pluto somewhere. We can't go to Mars because that's where they from, right? We can't go to Venus because it's a whole bunch of us there already. So we're going to have to go to Pluto, Uranus, Jupiter. We're going to go somewhere, right? Because it's just, we're doomed. That's what they said on Breakfast Club this morning. Like, black women is doomed. We're doomed. I don't want to believe that, and that's why I ain't saying it. That's what they said on Breakfast Club this morning. We are doomed. But I do know that we're the most unprotected. I do know that. We're the most unprotected. Undervalued. That's my problem. I can probably protect myself sometime, but the undervalued, we're the most undervalued. Ain't nothing I can do about that. We're the most undervalued creatures on the earth. Do you know white men will kill you about them white women? Kill you dead. Not us. After that dude hit that woman in that restaurant, when she had to kill him, and everybody, that black man walked out the door like, I ain't in this. That's what's out there. Him. Let me get out of here. You ain't gonna say, hey, brother man, don't do that. Went on right on out the door. Sister girl had to go on and unalive him. Very underappreciated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand why when we the best things on earth. And I ain't just saying that. We the strongest. Hey, 20 people, think of my 20 people, y'all. We the best things on earth, right? The best things on earth. I'm hands down. Why wouldn't you want us? Why wouldn't you want us? Right? But that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Now I am going out this weekend, y'all. Friday and Saturday. I'm here with my girl. They always go places. So I'm going out this weekend, right? Put on my duds. Put on my best duds and switch on out there. Even though I don't know how to switch, I'm switch on out there, right? And if nothing else, just have me a good time with the people. Just have me a good time. I'm in a much better headspace than I've been since I left. Because, the pandemic had me spooked out. I was scared of people for real. I was in training class. A young girl kept coughing. I had to move from around her. Then I get over here. Buddy kept coughing. Like, I don't play the coughs. Right? But did I tell y'all I found another job? I'm taking a drug test tomorrow. Yeah, I'm taking a drug. If I didn't tell you, I'm telling y'all now. I'm gonna probably take that job because it's better hours and stuff. So I'm gonna probably take that job. I'm almost positive of that. But I went to let me tell y'all, I meant to record it, but I was so stuck. I went to do the fingerprints today, right? So it was behind the American Airlines ticket booth, and then you go down and down and down, right? And they were so precise. They looking at your IDs. They doing this. looking at child. And then you was born in Ohio? Yes. They asked me that about 5 times. Yes. Yes. I was born in Ohio, right? And so when I finally get to the room where they gonna do your fingerprints, right? I'm looking. The room is just a 2 desks, a dude over here, girl over here. So I'm looking around for the ink. I'm like, well, where they gonna do it at? They gonna take me somewhere else? I'm just looking all around where the ink and stuff at, right? Child, there's one little machine that was right in front of me on the desk. You just put your fingers on it, and it's a light inside of there, and it electronically some kind of way take your fingerprints, right? I was like, oh, and then she said, well, step back here, just go back a couple feet on this board and take your picture. Camera up there. I said, oh Lord, oh Lord, they had new technology. Eve, they said the camera was up there all the time watching me, right? It was like camera right there. So you just hold your chin down, step back, take the picture. I said, okay. Because there wasn't nothing in the room but 2 desks. I'm trying to figure out where's all y'all equipment at. Child, it was right there all the time. So she said, a week or two, even though they only go back 10 years and my shit about 30 years old. But like I said, it's hindered me all my life. So, we is talking about what do people call it after 9/11, the world security people, what they call what is they called, y'all? It's on the tip of my tongue. What is them people called? Oh man, that's gonna get on my nerves. The people that what is they called? I can't think of the name of them right now. But they put them in place after 9/11. I can't think of the name of them. But anyway, it was kind of frightening, even though I ain't did nothing. Not the TSAs, the group of people. It's like the police, but they bigger. The government, the world security police. What is their name? Not the world, but Americans. What is they called? I know what they called. It's the United States security. What is they called? Somebody security. They put them in place after 9/11. Somebody security. Homeland Security. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Eve, you be on it. Thank you, man. Homeland Security, right? So, we're dealing with Homeland Security. So, they be like, oh, no, sis, we don't want you, right? Which I don't really care. I just doing my due diligence, But I already know where I'm going. I already know where I'm going. Now, I may go. Now, they said it take 2 weeks, but you can still start work. Now, I don't start work till September 7th for that job. I start work September 8th for the other one. So, I'm going to still go to work September 7th, right? Go to work September 7th because I'm training with somebody. And then September 8th, I'm going to be over yonder. That's how that's going to go, Lord willing, right? Anyway, y'all, tomorrow we're going to talk about in length. Now, I'm going to give y'all some time tomorrow, but today I got to go eat. I had kind of a strenuous day today, and I don't like when I look funny like this. Y'all probably can't tell. I know I need to rest, right? I got a lot of shit on my mind. And I'm going to eat and get in my bed. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to go live tomorrow at 6. At 6, so I can be done at 8. I think I'm going to go live at 6 tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Wednesday. And because I want to be good and prepared and rested up for my drug test. Even though this was funny. The last time I took a drug test for Amazon, I was holding my pee because, I'm going to go pee, right? I'm ready. I'm holding it. Child, they put this thing in your mouth. You know how they swab for DNA? Something like that, like a sponge on a long stick. And you hold it in there, and there got to be a whole bunch of saliva on there to catch it. Of course, I couldn't get all. Everybody else was gone. I'm still trying to get saliva on there. So, I got to do that Thursday morning. So I want to be well rested for that. Because what happens is when I'm excited and anxious, I don't sleep. And then, like now, I'm tired as I don't know what because I didn't sleep that much because I was anxious about going and taking the fingerprints and being on time. Matter of fact, let me tell y'all something funny. Yeah, I'm on time all the time, right? I'm way ahead of time. I was way ahead of time today, girl. We had to be there at 11:30. The appointment was at 12, but they made a point on saying be there by 11:35. So I had that bad problem with the Uber. I got PTSD behind that. I called the Uber at 10. I ain't that far away from the airport, right? I was there at 10:15. They couldn't even see me in the system. I'm there too early, right? The girl was like, you got to wait till 11:15. And then, okay, all right. So I just sat there and waited. But, I'm just, I'm the kind of person, like, I'm in a transitional, I'm changing some stuff. So I be on, even if I wasn't, I'm on my, I handle my business. I've always been like that because if I don't handle, who else gonna handle it, right? It ain't like I got Charles or Henry or nobody. You know what I'm saying? I always got to handle my business. So that's the mode I'm in, and a lot of times it drains me, right? And I'm looking at myself now. I see the black under my eyes and all that. So anyway, y'all, Jack Squad, love y'all. Email me. Message me, do whatever you need to do. You got something for me to talk about, something for me to say. Today just ain't that good of a day for me. It's a little draining. And I'm going to get something to eat. Because y'all know I ain't got my car here, so my friend now is going to get something to eat. So I'm going to go get something to eat. They wanted to go before my live, but I was like, I got to go do my live. So I'm going to go get something to eat, get in the bed, pray, and do it all over again tomorrow, right? So see y'all, Jack Squad. Love y'all. And listen, y'all. Listen. Y'all been looking at my numbers. They growing and growing and growing. They growing and growing and growing. See y'all tomorrow.